Infinite bike. So as you saw, you're able to infinitely chain the 3 Inferno bikers in Wuthering Waves. This allows you to like have 100% bike uptime, and yeah, you can get anywhere you want fast. This is especially useful for exploration. This echo is the Inferno Rider. This is a boss echo which you can get from here. You can get Inferno Rider from here by defeating this boss. This boss won't be initially unlocked. You have to do this exploration quest called We Promise We Deliver, and after you do that quest, you should be able to like fight this and then like get the echo from here. So another echo I want to talk about is this guy, the Bellborn Geochilon. I butchered that pronunciation, but this echo is really good because this echo literally provides a shield to your entire team, which like reduces damage by 50% and gives like a 10% damage boost to everyone. Okay, so like look at this. It's gonna be like how bad this is without the shield, and like then I activate the shield and just like wait, this is not the shield, my bad. I activate the shield and look, it blocks the damage, and even if I switch characters, it's gonna still block damage. See,
again.
Boom. Now the shield is gone and the damage like hurts a lot more, but like if you're like using dungeon especially and like getting hit is like death to you, then this is gonna help. See, the damage is like a lot less with the shield.
Gotta be careful.
Yeah, next up, let's talk about a few other things, right? Since you have gotten on the topic of the echoes, let's talk about yet another very important tip. It's a very important thing that you can get from the Depth of Illusory Realm game mode from the shop. So if you look to the shop, you'll see these two things. What this is an echo selector, which lets you have a 5-star echo of your choice. So you can get an echo like this for completely free from the Depth of Illusory Realm. It's like rather easy to get. You need to like just complete like the first 2 to 3 difficulties and you should be able to get it. And it's not a hard game mode. This game mode allows you to like choose trial characters, right? You don't even need to build your own characters. You can just do the trial characters, and if you like are good enough, you can easily clear it. It's not bad. You don't even need to build your characters to clear it, so it's very easy. I don't have all the other ones yet because I didn't clear it in this account. Yes, I'm doing multiple accounts. Another great thing about this is like this is not only a 5-star echo that you can like completely get for free. You can also select which set is it gonna be. So like for example, if you took like the fire set Molten Rift, you can get an echo like this, and the great thing is gonna be there's gonna be a fusion damage bonus instead. Like every time you pick the set you get, the set echo that you get, it will have that corresponding set's like damage bonus. So if you get the fire set, you'll get the fire set damage bonus. If you pick the electric set, you'll get the electric set damage bonus here. So like this is extremely valuable early game. To try to get it as fast as you can, it's really not hard. Next up, let's talk about the Pioneers Association. Not enough people have been focusing on the Pioneers Association. So on the map, you go to Jinzhou and you see this icon here. That's the Pioneers Association. So you get some very important things from here. So yeah, you teleport here. There's Makui, and you can talk to her. And the receptionist, like, should be go to exploration progress, and you should have this, right? So the rewards you get from here is very important, especially the first 3 levels give you very important stuff that helps you a lot in doing exploration. So first off, we have the loot mapper, then we have the waypoint, and then lastly we have the casket sonar. So let me tell you what all of these do one by one. First off, let's talk about the loot mapper. The loot mapper is an insane utility. The insane thing you can do with loot mappers is like when you go to an area, you can press the loot mapper and it will locate chests for you. It can be chests, it can be like puzzles, it can even be like those stars that you fight and like get. So this is gonna help you out with your exploration a crap ton. Next up, we have the waypoint. The waypoint is essentially a custom waypoint that you can set anywhere you want. So let me show you how the waypoint works, right? So I can just like select waypoint and then press T. Yeah, there'll be a waypoint module that you can craft more of. So you can just like use one of the waypoints, and then there'll be a waypoint set here. So you can like, I think this waypoint can last for a day or maybe a week. I'm like not sure, but yeah, this this is a very useful thing. So especially if you're doing you're farming red mists and you keep dying, this is gonna be a pretty useful utility. And lastly but not the least, we have the casket sonar. Casket sonar is, as the name suggests, a radar for finding caskets. So you can use the casket sonar to essentially find any caskets around the map. It's gonna use this sonar circuit thing that you can craft to like locate a casket. I press this, and then this shows the closest casket to me on the map. This stays on the map, so it's like just like the loot mapper, this is gonna stay on the map. It's like a very good utility to finding all the casket. Makes your life a lot easier. But yeah, you need to like complete a decent amount of exploration to unlock all of these. But once you unlock all of these, exploration really becomes a breeze. So let's go back to character investment and gears. Echoes have been a thing that like confuses a lot of people. It's hard to invest in, takes a lot of your resources. But one thing that I've recently discovered is that you really want to focus on your damage percent more than attack. So like here, this is the normal echo setup, right? You have crit, you have havoc damage bonus, then the attack. This is your normal setup. And if I had a 4-piece and all these were good, all this had like substats that were like lined up, like all these had main stats that were lined up properly, then it would have been the best thing, right? The 5-piece bonuses that you see here are gonna be always the ideal, but early game now, it is very hard to get. So what you can do early game is, in early game we have an abundance of attack. Like other characters can buff your attack. There are like set pieces that can buff attack, and then there are like these weapons which are basically attack percentage. What you lack is damage percent. So for early game, and keep in mind this is for early game only, there is another very specific build that you can go for if you want to clear your end game faster and if you want to get a lot of damage quick. Another way to do things is just go all out on damage bonus. So like there's havoc damage bonus, and you put another one which also has havoc damage bonus. Let me check. Yeah. What this does is it gives you an insane amount of damage bonus, which essentially, since you cannot get enough crits, having attack and damage bonus early game is gonna push your damage up a lot more than getting crit stats. Because unless you have a lot of crit stats, this is gonna be giving you a lot more damage. Because getting crit early game in this game is hard unless you pay, unless you get like the for example, here's dungeon, unless you get like the 5-star weapon which gives crit rate, and unless I get like high rarity 5-star echoes, a lot of substats that have crit rate, I won't be able to get crit. So if you're looking for a quick way to essentially get a lot more damage out of your character suddenly, this is gonna be like a build. This is not the final build though. This is like not ideal later, but if you're looking for like to clear your content earlier, you can try this build out. And this build has shown better and more consistent results because you're not like trying to crit. You won't see like a 5,000 hit once every 20 minutes. But with this, you will see more consistent damage numbers. But this is only for early game. Do keep that in mind. You only do this before you're able to get proper pieces where you can get a crap ton of proper crit substats. But like investing in substats and crit is very hard early game, so damage percent is the way to go. But remember, only do this as a temporary measure. This is not final. So after this tip, there's gonna be yet another tip which is related to gearing here. So as you can see, we have dungeon here, right? And next up, there's gonna be a little bit of a spoiler if you haven't finished the quest. Be warned, this is a little bit of a spoiler. We have Havoc MC. So both of these and act as main DPS characters, and they're both of the Havoc element and use the sword. The Tower of Adversity right now is going to require 3 teams to clear, but as of now, building 2 teams is enough. So if you use both Dungeon and Havoc MC as main DPSs of 2 teams, you're able to share most of their gear. So here, I can just use Dungeon in one team as the main DPS, and then we have her best gear, right? And then we can just switch back to the main character, give him all of Dungeon's gear that actually like works, and then he can basically have similar level of damage as Dungeon. Because really narrows down the investment, especially since it's the rover, right? He already requires less wave plates to farm. So this is like the most efficient way to do things. So if you are not building rover, if you're like a dungeon main especially, go ahead and try building teams with like one team with dungeon main DPS, another team with rover main DPS to like alternate in the tower of adversary floors, and it should work out pretty darn well. Another thing I would like to talk about is gonna be investment on DPS characters versus sustain. DPS characters are gonna be way more valuable in Wuthering Waves, and you want to mostly invest on 1 to 2 DPS characters early game. So for example, I literally have Pilcharo and Encore, but I didn't really build them much because I got Dungeon and Rover faster, and I'm like building them up, and they have been doing way more damage than these characters can, of course, because they're not built yet. But building these two characters has been my focus, and they have been doing insane amounts of damage because I've focused most of my resources in building these two characters and these two only. Third character you usually have in your team is gonna be the sustain character. Sustains are not that important. In Wuthering Waves, DPS checks kind of matter more than sustains, and you can dodge. Just dodge, right? You can simply just dodge. So honestly, sustains can do completely fine with minimum amount of investment. So do not invest much on sustains. Focus completely on 1 to 2 DPS character. Now let's talk about the data bank. A lot of people have had trouble in leveling up the data bank. The most efficient way to level up the data bank is gonna be you open the data bank, right? Go to this echo gallery and then scroll down. When you scroll down, you're gonna see the echoes where you have the least rarity, the echoes that you got the lowest rarity of. So these echoes are the ones where you need to obtain the high rarity versions. Like the echoes at the top are gonna be the ones you have the high rarity ones already. So when you scroll down, you'll find echoes with the least rarity. Since I've already collected all the echoes, they don't show any question marks. But if there are echoes you haven't unlocked or collected yet, there's gonna be question marks here. So what you wanna do is find these echoes, right? And then like click on track. And then you detect. Now you can find these echoes on map. You go to the map and then kill the echoes here, and you should be able to like collect echoes and potentially have a chance to get a high rarity echo from here. And if this doesn't drop an echo, it's gonna point you to the next location where you can find this echo. So you can go around the map and try to collect all the echoes that you don't have the max rarity or like the highest rarity available to you off. This makes leveling up the data bank much easier and faster. Another thing that a lot of people haven't noticed yet is gonna be the enhanced drop rate. So enhanced drop rate is something that is available every week. This thing resets every week on Mondays, and this gives you a higher chance to obtain echoes of bosses, so like Overlord and Calamity classes. So the world bosses and the weekly bosses, you're able to get a higher chance to obtain them. So I'm at like level 15 right now, so I have a 60% chance to get them, just like higher. So as you level up, this also increases up to like basically 100% on 20, but that's gonna take a while. So you do not want to waste these chances, right? You want to make sure that when the weekly reset hits, you go first beat the bosses that you want the echoes of. So this basically means that there's going to be like a higher chance for an echo to drop, but not for the echo of the highest rarity to drop. So you will get an echo, but it's not like you'll get the 5 stars. So do keep that in mind. So here for level 15, there's a higher chance for you to get a 4 star anyway. So that's why you want to level up as fast as possible so that you can get the highest chance to get the high rarity echoes, so it works out. So the final tip is going to be farming red mist enemies. These red mist enemies are special enemies which always spawn with a fixed level regardless of your Sol 3 level. So here these enemies are level 90 and like they're way over leveled. These enemies have a chance to always drop echoes, especially if they are high leveled. So red mist enemies which are around level 70 or so will be guaranteed 5-star echo drops. I highly recommend you to co-op with your friends and do this because it allows you to basically get guaranteed 5-star echoes, and if you co-op you can get multiple of them at the same time. These echoes actually respawn once every 3 days. So unlike what people said when the game first came out, these echoes are not a one-time thing. They can respawn every 3 days. So like every 3 days you can try co-oping with your friends and getting multiple 5-star echo drops. So that's it for the tips. I hope you found it useful. And I stream most days on Twitch and YouTube. So do come and say hi if you can. And maybe you can even echo farm if you want to. Well then, I'll see you all next time.